Welcome to That's What She Said, where we'll spill the tea on women empowerment in the Great Lakes Bay region with your host, Christiana Malacara.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of That's What She Said. Thank you for tuning in this week and every week and all the future weeks and just to That's What She Said, so that way you can pour into yourself as we spill the tea on women empowerment with me, your host, Christiana Malacara. So I want to always say thank you, and I always want to tell you the many ways you can tune in to That's What She Said. If you are watching us, it's most likely Thursday at 1:30. That's on all social media outlets, literally all of them. And also a fun thing happened. I created a TikTok account, so check that out. We'll see where that goes. But then they also the wonderful ways to listen on the airwaves and also WSGW.com. 100.5 FM on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. and then Sunday evenings at 6. And then anywhere that you listen to podcasts, we are there. That's What She Said with Christiana Malacara. So I was talking a couple weeks ago about the power of little words. And I was talking about the power of yet. And this just amazing little 3-letter word, yet. Where I have a plan, right? You have a plan, but are we going to put that in motion? Maybe not just yet. Or maybe you're moving and working your way to something. You're like, I'm going to do that one day. Yet there's the option for this, that power of yet. So I was looking and thinking about, well, what's the contrasting word? Yet has so much power. I'm almost there. I'm getting there. That bridge of yet. So what would the contrasting word be to yet? And it took a little bit of time, and I came up with the word still. This little word again, and it's the act of you're with people who are still doing this thing. It's keeping you idle and you need to move forward. So I'm talking to someone and they're still in the same groove, in the same cycle. They're still complaining. They're still, being that person who's not going to help you propel forward to your yet. And with that, I'm just going to ask you to go through your week from That's What She Said day to the next That's What She Said day. And let's reflect on who's your yet and who's your still. Who's your yet and who's your still? And are you the yet or are you the still for someone else? So just a lot of points to reflect on and think back. And I want to hear from you. Honestly, I really do. So you can comment on Facebook or Instagram and on our TikTok. Or you could email me at christiana.malacara@alphamediausa.com. So we have an amazing woman with us, as we do each and every week. But this woman literally glows. She is so exciting to be around. And I'm going to let her introduce herself. We have with us Rachel Caudy. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm excited that we are doing this.
Yes, I'm very excited too.
We have had so many points of contact.
We have, yes.
And both being, in the Saginaw area, Great Lakes Bay region, there's a lot of moving pieces to both of our jobs.
Yes.
And now we get to kind of just have a conversation.
I love it.
So how might the community know you?
So most of the community will know me as Rachel from the SVRC Marketplace. I may not have a last name, and I may just be the girl from the Marketplace. But that's how most of our community knows me. And I'm very proud to have the community know me as such.
What's SVRC Marketplace?
So the SVRC Marketplace, we've just celebrated our 7-year anniversary, actually, and I've been there since the beginning. So the SVRC Marketplace is an incubator business space that's located right on Riverfront Saginaw. And our mission is for entrepreneurial growth. growth in our community, not just in our surrounding community, but the Great Lakes Bay region. So we provide those who have a business dream, and we hope to help make them turn that into reality. We have community events that we try very hard to make free for the community, family friendly, adult friendly. And then we also have event spaces that we rent out inside of our marketplace too, where we've had quinceañeras, we've had weddings, we've had graduation parties. So we try to be a very big positive hub right downtown on Riverfront.
You took the words right out of my mouth, which I think is actually hard to do. So good job. Hub. It's a hub.
Yes.
It's like a think tank for entrepreneurs
Yes.
to kind of test out, try their business,
Mhm.
and then also this community space.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And you said you've been there 7 years?
Yeah, 7 years. Yeah, we opened in 2019. And so I have been there since. Yes.
What were you doing before this?
Yeah. So before this, I am actually a dietitian. So my journey on how I got to the marketplace, I graduated from Central Michigan University, so fire up chips. Graduated with my bachelor's in science and dietetics, and I did my internship at Hurley, which I absolutely loved in Flint. It's a 1-year internship, and we had to do community nutrition. And I found myself at the Flint Farmers Market. And if you've never been, you have to go. It's absolutely amazing. And I fell in love with the concept. I fell in love with the fresh fruits and vegetables all year round. We were providing the pediatricians, we would take the kids and we would go do fresh fruit and vegetable prescriptions. And I watched kids and families just be so excited to go to all of these different shops. And I'm like, oh, man, if Saginaw ever has one, I need to be a part of it. Like this would fulfill me. And a year after I graduated from my internship, I was a non-traditional student. So a year after I graduated from my internship, Saginaw said, hey, we're going to open up a marketplace. And I was like, stop. Okay. All right. And so I made sure that I was a part of it.
Wow. You sure did.
I did.
From day
Yes,
one.
From day one. Yep.
What's your position title?
So I'm the SVRC Marketplace Director. So I oversee the small businesses inside of the marketplace. I oversee the whole building, 100,000 square foot of lots and lots of things. I learn something new every single day. And then I oversee community events, just private events. So you name it, and I oversee it. So yes.
This is more than just a farmer's market for
Yes.
a dietitian.
It is, yes.
You're helping entrepreneurs.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
is quite different from what you studied.
It is. It's very different. It's very different. Pre-COVID, we were going to actually have cooking classes offered. I had created curriculums, all of those things. We were getting grants to provide that. And COVID happened. So I lost my assistants. I lost the grants. So with that, you know, my own personal mindset had to change. Some of the things that I wanted to see inside of the marketplace, I took myself and what I wanted to see and turned it to what's there. And that was seeing those businesses be successful and grow. And how can I be a true, you know, intersect in that? How can I be a part of that? And to see a business struggle, which I have seen, how do I help them through that? You know, we've had emotional conversations. We've had happy conversations. We've had, what do I do conversations? So I try really hard to put myself in that position of, you know, what can I do to help them? And that truly, truly is what fulfills me. And why I love my position. I just really, really do. And to see the success and the growth of a business, whether they move on to another brick and mortar or whether they just say, you know what, Rachel, business isn't for me. That's still growth. That's a huge decision to make. And so when they feel comfortable talking that through with me, and we figure out their next steps and I get to be a part of that, that's a beautiful piece for me.
Wow. So you're still helping people.
I still am. Yes.
And you're helping them grow in healthy ways.
Yes.
With their businesses.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that this path you're on had a huge learning curve.
It did. Yes.
And I'm just thinking, because I know some of these businesses that are in there. I know a lot of them.
Yeah.
And some of those businesses are looking for a shoulder to cry on some days,
Mhm.
and then someone to celebrate with, but then also like an advisor of some sort.
Mhm.
Do you
Yeah.
see yourself wearing all those hats?
I do. Yes. Yes.
Did you anticipate wearing these hats?
I anticipated them, but I think when you're in that moment, and you hear the real cries of someone who's just trying to take care of their family, and they're trying to figure out, why isn't the community supporting my business? I feel like I have all of the products. I feel like my business space is what it needs to be. I'm doing all the things, social media wise. What is it that I'm not feeling 100% supported? So in those moments, these are individuals who do this to take care of their family. So I really try to put myself in that position, and I just become an opening ear, and I just let them put it all on me, because I can take it. I'm strong, and I can take it for them. And then I give my advice. I'm a very pretty honest and upfront person. So I always tell people hard truths are hard to hear. So I will tell them.
Say that again.
Hard truths are hard to hear.
Hard truths are hard to hear.
That's my favorite saying. Yes. Yep.
Where did that come from?
I think my entire life I have had to hear some really hard truths, and they've been really hard to hear. But man, growth. I mean, growth for me is big in all aspects of my life. So I remember one of my mentors said, "You know what, Rachel, I'm going to tell you something that's going to be hard to hear, but hard truths are hard to hear." And I remember what she said after that, and I was just like, how dare her? I can't believe that. But man, it resonated with me. And that was, when I was 20, 21 years old. And I have kept that through my entire life. I tell my kids that I'm about to tell you a hard truth, and hard truths are hard to hear. And that's exactly how I start out, because they are hard to hear, but it's what do you do with that hard truth? How do you come out at the other end of that? And hard truths make you think. They just make you think. And so I think it's really important just to give individuals hard truths.
So let's say that you're going to tell me a hard truth, right? And you're going to be like, Christiana, this is hard to hear right now.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give me afterwards? Maybe like a couple steps on how to move through that hard truth.
Yeah. So hard truths are hard to hear is one of my biggest thing, and choices. Then we talk about choices. At the end of the day, your life and how you live it is all done by choices. So take that hard truth, and now you have the choice. You have the choice to move forward. You have the choice to say, okay, I'm not done. I'm going to, do this better, or look into what I can do better to make my business better. Or I'm going to get out into the community more. Or you're going to make the choice to say, you know what? I just can't do this anymore. And I'm choosing, to take a step back and no longer, be so active in my business. But that doesn't mean that and then we have that talk, that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen for you a year later. Maybe you need that downtime to really think and grab that hard truth and just really pull it all together. But at the end of the day, then it becomes your choice.
All about choices.
Yes, choices is huge for me. Yes.
So choices as an entrepreneur, let's kind of touch on that first. Because in a sense, I'm getting this vibe that you did the thing. You went to school, you went to college, you did the thing, you graduated, all this stuff. You learned what you thought you were going to do.
Yes.
And then you put yourself in this atmosphere where you're dealing with several people, managing people, advising people, giving them those hard truths. So in a sense, you had to be your own entrepreneur because you're like, this is it. This is new.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Very true. Very true. Out of my comfort zone, but I'm not one to shy away from my comfort zone. I think, again, my whole life, I don't like being comfortable. I like being uncomfortable.
Why do you think of that?
I just do. I like, not always. And sometimes it's a hard choice for me, but I'm always interested to see what's going to happen on the outside of being uncomfortable, whether it's positive or negative. Another word that comes to mind, failure. Oh, I used to just despise that word. And I used to think to myself, you fail your test, you fail this, you fail, an aspect in your life. And man, that word hit me hard. But then I started turning my failures into say, man, why, how, and was it because I was uncomfortable? Was it because I wasn't giving it my all? So for me, just kind of always remaining comfortable and kind of just I don't know what the term is, balanced. I don't know. I like to be uncomfortable. I like to put
You're
myself
comfortable
out there.
being uncomfortable.
Yes, I love. Yes, I just do. Yeah, I do.
Putting yourself out there.
I do. I really do.
What are
Yes.
some ways in your personal life that you put yourself out there?
Oh goodness. I'm a young mommy. I had my first when I was 20 years old. So I mean, I had plans for myself. You know, I was going to study abroad. I was going to major in Spanish. I was going to study abroad in Mexico. I had scholarships. I mean, all of these different things, and then all of a sudden, my life completely flips. So I had to make some decisions. And I had to get uncomfortable with those decisions. You know, my life wasn't just about me anymore. So making those uncomfortable decisions to say, okay, like hold back on college for a little bit. Let's get financially, stable. And then here comes my going back to college, which it makes me sweat thinking about it. That was very uncomfortable for me because I was a non-traditional student. I was a mommy. And at that time I was a mommy of two. I went back to school in my middle 20s. So I'm going back to school, with 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, and commuting and trying to figure out how to have a family and paying all these bills and all these things. But I getting out of my comfort zone and going after what I truly, truly wanted to do. That's what I needed to do and figure out. And I did. So
what made you go back to school? You're over here with two kids.
Yes.
Your words, young mommy.
Yeah. Yeah.
What made you say, you know what, let's go back? Or because it could have been much easier. Much easier just saying, you know what, I got these two kids at home. Let's find a job. Let's start paying these bills. No commuting. I mean, that feels kind of like, okay, I'm here.
They're the comfort.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I was a waitress. I waitressed at Tony's for 18 years. And I love it. I loved it. The money was great. I loved the people. I loved the customers, getting in that realm. But I knew that wasn't going to be sustainable. I needed to have a plan for my future. I needed to, for myself, I needed to create goals. I needed to meet these goals. And I needed to teach my kids that you don't just give up. If something comes and you have to get out of your comfort zone, you don't give up. You move forward. You keep going. You strive for what you truly want to do, or maybe you dabble into something that you had no idea that you were going to get into, and you just keep moving forward. So that's I didn't want to stay comfortable. I couldn't do that. It wasn't just about me at that point in time. It was me and my kiddos. So I had to move forward with that.
Wow. That is really a testimony to that propel, right? And I kind of said something in the beginning about this, actually, without even knowing what's happening here is, are we stuck in that still?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Are we stuck like, oh, I'm still going to be doing this job. I'm still going to stay here. I'm okay just staying still.
Yes. I loved that. I resonated with all of that. Yeah.
Oh,
yes. No still for me.
No still. No, there isn't.
No.
There's no still for you from day one. Here we
Mm-hmm.
go. And you said you at a young age, you were like, I want a dietitian. This is it. We're doing this.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm just trying to fathom the idea of going back to school and having the conversation of, I'm going to do this with the kids this weekend. And then you're sitting next to a 17-year-old that's like, well, we're going to
a sorority party. You want to come hang out? I'm like, oh gosh, no. I mean, thank you for thinking I look that young, but no, I got to go home and be a mommy, And at the time, I was a wife, so I had to be a mommy and a wife. So yeah. Very different.
That is. So, during that time where you're back to school and having these conversations with peers, who did you lean on? Because students in general, and we've had students on and listening and tuning in and saying, oh, it's just hard to be a student.
Yeah.
But you're a student at the time. You said you're a wife and then a mom with huge jobs on top of we need to get good grades.
Yes.
Who was your support system at that time?
I love that you asked me that because my support system was actually my group of ladies that I was in the dietetic program with. And it's a crazy thing because you go into this, this journey with all of them and you're there with them for 3 years. And the way that they didn't treat me like I was different, but they actually looked up to me, so to speak. And that was like my first glimpse of like, Like I remember somebody saying, you're just amazing. I can't believe that you have kids at home and you get up at 8, you drive here, you're here all day, you go home, you study, and you do it all again, and you have kids at home. And I thought to myself, well, yeah, I mean, that's just what it is. But the more that they supported me in that, and the more that they would talk to me through that, man, you just forget that you make such an impact on people. Like when we graduated, they all made me this huge, beautiful card and told me how, I inspire them. And I'm like, me? Like me? I just did what I did because of me, because of my kids, because of my future, because of my goals. But it was really just great to have their support because, they were young. And I still know a lot of them today. Like we still talk. I still see their journey and their path. They're now mommies, so they were just a huge support system for me.
That is so special.
Yes, very.
Like, I'm getting goosebumps. Like that is so special.
Yes.
I didn't know how you were going to answer that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. But okay, so here's this concept that we sometimes cover, and that's what she said. And we talk about the ripple effect, right?
Yes.
And it's simply that you start here, ripples out, shares. But what we don't talk about is the invisible ripple effect.
Yes.
And that is something that we're doing for ourselves, and other people are watching, and other people are paying attention.
Yes.
And we don't even know that we're causing change in someone else's life. That is so powerful.
Yes, like your podcast.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly.
It's not what
it's an invisible ripple effect. It is, but it's a surreal feeling. You just do what you do because you have a passion for it and you love it and you have goals and all of these things. But then the minute that someone says something like that to you, it's like, huh? Me? Like,
I was just doing me.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a beautiful thing. And for them to feel vulnerable enough and good enough to share it.
That makes it even more special.
Oh gosh, yes.
So we are having a conversation with Rachel Caudy. Rachel, the girl from SBRC.
Yes.
And we are going to take a quick break. So don't go too far, because when we come back, we're going to talk about the hard truths and why are they so hard to hear, and what were some of those hard truths for Rachel. So don't go too far and come on back to That's What She Said.
That's What She Said with Christiana Malacara is back. Now let's spill the tea.
Hi, Christiana Malacara here. And thank you for coming back to That's What She Said. We are having a wonderful conversation with my guest here, Rachel Caudy from the SBRC Marketplace here in Saginaw. But so much more than that. We're talking to Rachel about just the way that she navigated through her path to get where she is today. But in this half, we're going to kind of take a couple steps back. And something that Rachel said was about hard truths, and hard truths are hard to hear. I think I know that, but were we ever told that? There's a difference. So Rachel, thank you for being here today.
Yes. Thank you again.
I appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Yes, absolutely. I love it.
You have a very multifaceted career.
Yes.
Where you're dealing with business, you're women in business.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So let's kind of navigate that real quick, because I want to know.
Yes.
Are most of those business owners women?
They are. Yes. I would say, I think we actually did a percentage. And I would say, I would definitely say probably 90% of our businesses are owned by very strong women. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Amazing. I mean, when we were actually looking at numbers and percentages, that in itself is empowering. I mean, women are so, especially in the marketplace, to watch them grow and to get respected from the community. And, that in itself is amazing. Even SPRC, our organization, our CEO, our COO, our directors, they're all women. So when we actually started looking at that, we're like, oh my gosh, okay,
what?
right.
Yeah.
Yes. Like it's very empowering. How can you not be so empowered to be surrounded by all of these very intelligent, moving, strong women, that just, have shown so much to the world, vulnerability, positivity, growth, all of these things. And it's an amazing feeling to be in the realm of that. It really is.
I was talking to someone fairly recently, and they were telling me about entrepreneurs and business owners.
Yes.
And there was something special about fitting into that category, period. Right?
Yeah.
You're, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you are creating something or some service that is customized to your liking to give out.
Yes.
And this is something that didn't exist. It wouldn't exist without you.
Yes. Yeah.
But let's add that layer of like, okay, now I got this girl boss over here with this business.
Yeah.
And she's doing these things. She's doing these amazing things and putting something out into the community that necessarily didn't exist before. But there's this added layer of, but she has this at home. She's dealing with this emotionally. She's dealing with this physically, maybe. There's all these added layers to it. What advice do you pass along to someone, a woman who's thinking, I want to put this into the world. I want this to be in existence. I want to be a business owner or entrepreneur. What is some advice that you would give her?
I would tell her to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. If this is, yes, people always say, you got one life to live. And we truly do. And you get comfortable with the uncomfortable, put yourself out there, start small. And that's what I love too, is that I can work with individuals who I've sat down with them and they've looked at me and they've said, I want to start a small business, but I'm scared. Or I want to start a small business and I don't know how to do it. And I say, start small, maybe it's little samples here and there, or maybe it's just kind of, showcasing what you have. You don't have to jump in and start big. Start small, get your name out there, really try to navigate and figure out what the community is after. What are you truly after? Because you have a vision in your mind of what you think maybe your business would look like, the concept, the vision, presentation, all of those things. But when you get into the community, that can completely change. And then you have to get out of your own way. You have to get out of your own way because maybe you have that business idea of, I want to provide this for the community, but maybe the community is leaning this way on what you're providing. And you're thinking that's maybe third, fourth, or fifth down the list.
Wow.
So you have to figure out, is this business for you or is it to provide something for your community, which then provides for you?
That's interesting because you said sometimes you have to get out of your own way.
Yes. Big believer in that too.
Wow.
Yes. We block our blessings. And then, we let the uncomfortable scare us. So that's where your yet and your still comes into play, because you have to surround yourself with like-minded individuals who are going to push you when you need the push, give you those hard truths when you need them. You can think you're doing all of these things, and especially as a woman, if you're a mom, if you're a wife, if you have a significant other and you go home, you have to take care of households, or maybe you have to take care of all of these different things. When do you actually get to sit down and think about your business? When do you actually take the time to think about what you're actually providing? We are on the go all of the time. So finding something, your outlet that takes the time for you to focus on what you truly, truly want to do and who you want to be. Because I think once you find that niche, you become a better mother. You become a better significant partner. You become a better
once you find your niche.
Yes. Once you find your niche. Yes.
Okay. So let's take a step back.
Yeah.
We were talking about hard truths.
Yes.
What is a hard truth that someone has had to tell you that you were like, all right, I needed to hear that?
Yeah. My hard truth was definitely probably my progression from being a dietitian and then taking on this role. I've had individuals who have said to me, how can you even know what I'm talking about? You're not a small business owner. That's a hard truth to hear, because for me, I'm not a small business owner, but I've surrounded myself with small business owners for the last 10 years of my life, even plus. And I can talk more about that too, and who that would be. So I've seen all of it. It was hard for me in that moment, because I thought, man, like I blood, sweat, and tears, passion, community. It's what I do. That's my career. Like, my job is to help you. And so when someone's looking at me saying, you have no idea what it's like to be a small business owner, I was like,
it hurt.
oh man. Yeah.
Did that set you back?
No, it didn't set me back. What it really made me think, and I was with my own emotions after they left my office space. And I sat there and I just really thought to myself, okay, Rachel, rethink what she just said to you. Don't internalize it. Don't take offense to it, and really, really put yourself in that position on why she's saying what she is and where she's coming from. And I started writing down things. And, you know, she was right. I don't know what it's truly like to be a small business owner because I've never owned a small business. I don't know what that's like to depend on the community to sometimes take care of my family. I don't know what that's like. So that was hard to hear, but man, it really made me take a step back and even invest more on my learning and invest more on working with these individuals and empathizing. You know, I'm an empathetic person anyway, but man, it took me to a whole nother type of empathy. Absolutely. Yeah.
New levels of empathy. So there's empathy that is extroverted, right? So you're giving empathy to people.
Yes.
But there's also this empathy that women have to have with themselves.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
How important is that?
Beyond important. You know, it's beyond important. I think in the world we live in too, it's I think, you know, we're making our way out there. You know, we're making a name for ourselves, but it's hard. It is hard. I still think that individuals have, you know, trouble seeing a lot of women in power. I've come across some of those individuals. I mean, I work with the public on a daily basis, so I've had some of those interactions. Oh, how old are you? Or how long have you been in this position? Or what's your background?
Have you ever can I talk to your boss?
Oh,
Anticipating
yes.
that it's a guy there?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. I've gotten that a couple of times. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, I've had those one-on-one experiences, and I have to be empathetic with myself. And I also have lots of other things outside of the SVRC marketplace. So I'm a mom and all those things, you know, so I'm a significant other. So there's things that I have to really be empathetic with myself if, you know, I kind of find my outlet so that I can give to those people.
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Let's
I
talk
love
about
my
that.
outlet.
Okay.
I
So you can find Rachel at the SVRC marketplace
Yes.
in Saginaw.
Yes.
But where are other places we could find you?
Yeah.
Like what do you do?
Yeah. So my outlet is Sarah Factor Fitness. My outlet has been Sarah Factor Fitness, which is located in Saginaw, for the past 20 plus years. And I also worked as a dietitian for Sarah too. So I wasn't totally letting go of that passion or that schooling because she believed in me, a huge mentor of mine. And she has her own journey and her own story, which is beautiful. And I've known her since, oh my gosh, we've known each other for 28 years. So to watch her growth, I mean, I watched her create the studio. I got to be a part of the studio. I got to work at the studio. I still work at the studio. So that's my outlet. I find my me time, and that is working out at least 4 days a week at 5 a.m. It's not always easy.
5 a.m.
5 a.m. I'm going to have you come with me. It's
Oh.
not always easy, but the yet and the still. I love that you said that because it makes me think. I am surrounded by like-minded, positive individuals that we have a text group. There's times where I don't want to get up. I'm like, oh, I have a long day at work. I got meetings. I'm tired. And that text group comes on and says, nope, we're getting up. Get up. Like, you're going to regret it if you don't. You're going to be mad at yourself if you don't. Hard truths, right? No, I'm not. I'm going to be fine. No, you are. So I get up and I do it. But I do that at least 4 days a week. And that is my one and only outlet where it is me time. I don't think about anything else. I just do me in that moment. And then I think too, you get that, like, you know, I love lifting weights. So then you get that, like, okay, what are you going to do today? How strong are you going to feel today? And you're going to have those moments where you're super strong and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, I can do a lot. Or you're going to have those moments where you're tired, but you just got there and you made it. And I've trained myself to be empathetic with myself and say, you know what, I might not have had a really good training day today, but I made it. And that's what's important.
Let's talk about this fine line of empathy, because we're over here. We have to in sense, give ourselves grace. Where it's like,
Yes.
oh, okay, I'm not feeling up to par. Maybe I shouldn't go to the gym today. Like, I don't know. I'm not. But then there's also this other part of empathy where it's like, I don't really feel like going today, so I'm just not gonna do it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But that fine line is with plenty things. You
Yeah.
know, I'm gonna make my bed today. Oh, I just don't feel like it. That's fine.
It's true. Yes.
Or, you know, even larger, bigger deals. Like, I don't want to get out of bed.
Yes.
Are we giving? How do you identify with that fine line? How do you identify if this is laziness and I'm done, or I'm giving myself grace?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I think that I think it's okay to be lazy sometimes. I think it's okay. Like, there's times where I will literally say, man, I was really lazy today. Like, I barely did anything. But then if I'm thinking about what I did, I still did I still did laundry. I still weeded outside. I still picked stuff from a garden. I still like all these things. Like, maybe I wasn't as active as I normally am because sometimes I forget how active I am from 5 a.m. till late at night. And then I think to myself, it's okay. Like, that's, it's okay to just slow down. And that's always been something that's very hard for me. That's been very hard for me because I've had to go for such a long time because, again, it wasn't just about me. It was moving for other people. My kids are older now, so I'm having the opportunity and the time to slow down, but it's hard for me. So
It's hard for you to slow down?
It is. It's very hard.
Well,
It's very hard.
You said your thing is
Yeah.
working out and lifting weights.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think of that as like me time, slow down time.
Yeah.
I mean, me time, slow down time is like me sitting on the porch, like drinking lemonade, slow down me
Yes.
time.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I've been trying to do that in the mornings now. Like, in the morning, I would get out for my workout, take a shower, and I would just get ready for work and just be like, okay, I got a full day. Let's go. I am trying very hard to have a morning coffee outside under my little pavilion that I created myself. And just, I don't listen to any music. I have my phone in the house and I just really try to just listen to the birds and listen to the wind. And grounding is a big thing. So my feet are either on the ground or in the grass. And I try to give myself that every day for 30 minutes. Sometimes I have some little company, some of my one of my favorite workout girls. But that's something that I'm trying to do for myself. And for me, that's success because I've slowed down in the morning, my morning routine. And then at nighttime too, trying to get out there and walk with my daughter. And we have a very rambunctious husky. So trying to make sure that we're walking and looking at the sunset and just taking in life. Like, that's what I want my daughter to resonate with. I want her to know it's okay to slow down. I want her to know that she's seen mama move, but she's also seen me slow down.
I have
and
a
that's
question
important
for you.
Yes.
If I had your daughter across from me,
Yes.
and I said, all right, girlfriend, tell me in one sentence, sum it up. What's mama like?
Oh, geez.
What do you think she'd tell me?
Me and my daughter, Jovi, she's beautiful. We're very much alike. I'm a mom first, always. Mom first, friend second type of relationship. So I think that she would tell you that I'm amazing. I think really truly that she would tell you that my mama works hard. She loves community. She loves me, those types of things. I think that she would really it makes me emotional thinking about it. I've never been asked that question. You'll have to bring her in here. I don't know. It would be great to hear it. But I think that I think I've taught her and done well. I think she would love to talk about me. Yeah.
I think she'd be proud of you.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Proud of me would be the word. Yes.
Was there ever a time where, like you said, you're mama first, right?
Yeah.
But for some time you were student first. You were busy working, starting up a new career first.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time where your community and your family, that circle, were like, oh, there goes Rachel again. All right, bye. See ya. We got the kids.
Yes.
Was that, did you have that chapter?
A lot. Yes, very much so. Yes. My family was very, very supportive. My husband at the time was very, very, very supportive. I wouldn't have been able to do it without him. I think it was very hard for my mom to see me go through that, I think. Not that she was putting in doubts in my mind, but she would be like, are you sure this is what you want to do? You're going from here to there, and you're missing out on things. And that was hard to hear, hard truth to hear.
The missing out on things.
Oh yes, because I already knew that. Why do you got to say that to me? I'm trying to figure out life, not just for me, but for my future. And then here you go telling me that I'm missing out on things. I know this, but choices, right? I knew that I would be able to see other things and watch them grow and continue to grow. And they needed to see that from me. They needed to see that from me. So yeah, I definitely had that experience for a long time, and I had it with myself. God, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Going to school full time, driving to Mount Pleasant, working on the weekends, 30 hours a week. I was managing Tony's at the time, and then I had those moments with myself.
During those dark moments of saying, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
But yet you're the person who's like, I'm going to keep pushing myself. We have to do this.
Yes.
How did you pick yourself up to continue that next day?
I am a big believer in, tomorrow's a new day. Like, I literally, when I go to bed at night, I pray every single night, and whatever that happens that day that wants to try to deter me from the next day, I would pray on it. And I would say, okay, tomorrow's a new day. I refuse to take what was a negative experience and take it into the next day. So when I wake up, I truly wake up with, okay, yesterday's in the past. Today is a new day.
Clean slate.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Every day.
Every single day. Every single day. Every single day. Yes.
That's okay. So I have this parallel concept, right? We're only taking the good out of yesterday to push it forward to tomorrow.
Yes.
That's kind of where I'm at. And I feel like not many women can do this, though. This is a challenging task that we give ourselves.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we're thinking, oh, I didn't finish yesterday's laundry. There's dishes in the sink. Where's my shoes? Literally.
Yes.
Oh, my mind is so scattered because I didn't do this yesterday, but now I have to do it today.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's challenging.
It is. It's very challenging. It's very, very challenging. And that has come with growth, very, very much so. But again, it's also come with like me trying to slow down and not worry about the dishes being in a sink, and worried about laundry not getting completely done. Like, if my daughter's like, Mom, come out and throw the softball with me, I don't want to be like, hold on, Mom's got to finish the laundry. And I did that. And there was times when I started realizing that I was like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like, take a step back, think about that for a second, and go out and play softball. And so I just started making those choices, and it doesn't even become a question now. So yeah, that's what I do now.
Choices.
Yes.
I have lots of notes for those of you who can see. I've been writing quite a bit this time, and choices and making better ones.
Mm-hmm.
What is one choice that you're like, bingo, that is my favorite choice?
Yeah. I think my life path has been so different. I think I could go in personal, I could go in career wise. I think personal for me is just growth. I got married when I was really, really young.
Growth.
Yeah, absolutely. Growth in that.
So making the choice to intentionally grow.
Yes, absolutely. Growth is huge. Growth is important, in every aspect of your life. So,
and I'm going to ask you one more question, because I like that last answer. But what is one piece of advice that you would pass along to a woman in the Great Lakes Bay region?
What I would pass to them is be your unique, strong self, and don't let anyone dim that light. I believe in realness and rawness, and there's people who want to shut that down. And I've experienced it. I know you've experienced it. I know every woman has experienced it. And what I would say is, get out of that comfort zone. Be uncomfortable. Get
uncomfortable.
Yes, get uncomfortable.
I
Listen
love
to those
it.
hard truths. Grab onto those, and then become the strong woman that you are. Because you're going to surprise yourself, and you're going to come out and be the best of everything, all around. And that's what we want to be
Well,
every single
thank
day.
you.
Yes.
So get out there and be uncomfortable. This was fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
This is
that
fun.
is Rachel Caudy. And that's what she said. Thanks for tuning in.